I'm Ajit Bakas. I am a trend watcher or futurologist, and my business is to research trends, what's going on, and to try to adapt these trends to make it tailor-made for my clients, who may be companies or politicians or governments. There are trends in several ways. For example, the fashion of the next season is a trend, but it's a trend for the next 3 or 4 months. And you also have trends for longer periods of times. For example, what do you do with technology, and how is the consumer going to adapt to technology? For example, 10 years ago, the banks asked the consumers, do you want to get your money from an ATM, from a machine, instead of the cashier? And then more than 90% of the consumers said, no, we don't want it. We are so used to go to the bank to get our money from the bank and from the cashier. If the banks would have listened to the consumers then, they would never have introduced the ATM. But on the other hand, now that the ATM is here, the consumers are very happy with it. So one of the things is, what are the new features in technology which are coming up, which companies, and it may be banks or supermarkets or fashion industries or whatever, how you can use it in order to provide the consumer with new and improved ways of services and products. Every manager, every company has to be aware of consumer behavior and consumer trends. Look, the example of the ATM. If you don't know what is going on with the consumers, you're not able to connect to him, you're not able to design products and develop your services in ways that attract consumers and are good for your business and good for your profit margins. So that's something you need to know. And I'm going to lecture about some of the major trends for consumers, like, for example, how do you deal with aging consumers, how do you deal with feminization, how do you deal with technology, how do you deal with globalization, now that globalization is coming in a next phase which will slow down. Now that some factories which have been moved to China are coming back to Europe to be near the consumer, because it's cheaper that way, and then you can be more flexible. We already see this, for example, in clothing industry. A lot of the clothes for the European market are now being made again in Europe in small factories near the consumer, so you can adapt and you can come with a new collection of clothes every month. Because in the old days you had 4 collections a year, now we have every month a new collection, and it's too difficult and too long distance to get it all from China or whatever. So some factories are coming back here. So all these consequences, that's what I'm going to lecture about, and to give some advice on how the companies who are there could use these trends. I hope to see you at November 18 at my workshop about trends at Creawal.